In the annals of global trade history, few events stand as stark reminders of the consequences of commerce, power, and conflict as the Opium Wars. These wars were not just battles over a narcotic substance, but rather a clash of cultures, economies, and sovereignties that would shape the course of history for both the East and the West. Our story begins in the early 19th century, a time when Britain faced a growing trade imbalance with China. At the heart of this imbalance was tea. The British had developed a taste for this aromatic beverage, but China, in return, showed little interest in British goods. This led to an unsustainable flow of silver into China, draining British reserves. To counter this, Britain found a potent solution in opium, a highly addictive drug derived from poppy plants. Opium was introduced to China by the British East India Company, initially as a medicinal product. However, it soon became a recreational drug, with its demand skyrocketing across the Chinese populace. By the late 1830s, the opium trade had become a lucrative venture for the British, but it was wreaking havoc on Chinese society. The social and economic consequences were devastating. Addiction swept across the nation, moral decay set in, and China's economy suffered as silver flowed out of the country to pay for opium. Distressed by these developments, the Chinese government decided to intervene. In 1839, the Daoguang Emperor appointed Lin Zexu as a special commissioner to curtail the opium trade. Lin's approach was swift and uncompromising. He confiscated and destroyed vast stocks of opium in Guangzhou, and his actions were a clear message to Britain that China would no longer tolerate the trade. Britain, viewing these measures as an affront to their economic interests and national pride, responded with military force, thus igniting the First Opium War. The conflict was marked by a series of naval engagements and land battles, where British military technology and strategy, superior to that of the Chinese, quickly turned the tide in their favor. In 1842, the Treaty of Nanking was signed, marking the end of the First Opium War. This treaty imposed significant concessions on China, including the cession of Hong Kong to Britain and the opening of several ports to British trade. It was the first of many unequal treaties that would scar Sino-Western relations. Despite the treaty, tensions over opium persisted, leading to the Second Opium War in 1856. This conflict, involving both Britain and France against China, resulted in further concessions, including the legalization of the opium trade and the opening of even more ports. These wars left a lasting legacy. They marked the beginning of what is often referred to as China's century of humiliation, a period of foreign domination and internal strife. Moreover, they underscored the destructive potential of addiction-fueled commerce and the imperialistic policies of Western powers. The Opium Wars serve as a poignant reminder of the complex interplay between trade, addiction, and power. They highlight how economic imperatives can lead to long-lasting geopolitical struggles and how such conflicts can drastically alter the course of nations. As we reflect on these events, it is crucial to learn from history and strive for a more equitable global landscape.